All right, I brought my new camp stove today with plans to cook out in the marsh. Now let's see if we can find anything to put on it. All right, the water's super low. You can probably see that shoreline there. Maybe you can see that one better. And it's falling rapidly. It's getting lower by the minute. Water looks okay. Yeah, just okay. Maybe 6 inches of visibility. But I'm starting with this Green Hornet matrix shad threaded on a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head. And we're in search mode. Unfortunately, water temp is 47. This is the last of the cold weather, really, I think probably for the season. Fishing on a Monday. It got really, really chilly this weekend, but the forecast looks great. Mid-70s for highs. Not for today. Today's just supposed to be 60 for a high. So it's really gonna be a redfish kind of day, unless that water temperature warms up a good bit, which I don't see happening. Water in this little bayou I'm fishing is about 4 feet deep. We got about a 10 or 12 knot east wind, kind of northeast, I guess. It's chilly. It's probably air temp is 40, 42, somewhere in there. There's a cold boat ride getting out here, that's for sure. I did launch a little bit after sunup, which is unusual for me, but I just had to wait and let it warm up just a little bit. All right, I'm switching to this 3/8 with a limbo slice, 3/8 ounce death grip, because this tide is screaming, so's the wind. Just want to make sure I'm getting down. Kind of learned that lesson a couple of trips ago. 5 feet right here, probably a little deeper in that bend that I'm throwing into. Look at the fish on this depth finder. There's a pile of fish down there. I just cannot get them to bite. Made a lot of casts. 47-degree water. It's chilly. That's almost 100% redfish. So many fish there. Hard for me to leave them. I just can't get them to bite. I just got a snag. I had to retie. I had to retie a leader and everything. But as I was coming over the snag, I saw all those fish. Like, man, I just gotta fish them. Just gotta figure something out. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. I think that's a red. Yep, okay. So I'm not crazy. All right, there we go. There we go. Now, hopefully this guy biting inspires the other guys to bite. Yeah, I know, dude. Definitely a legal fish, maybe 18, 19 inches or so. We're gonna get to eat him. We're not gonna starve to death. All right. Persistence pays off with that fish. Hopefully the rest of them saw him bite and get excited. Start looking for something that they can eat. All right, made a bunch of casts. That dude did not inspire his buddies to bite. They just have lockjaw this morning. 47-degree water. It's just cold. It's cold water. Now, reds will definitely bite in 47-degree water, but they're not today. Don't know why, they're just not. All right, we've beat this area up with not a whole lot to show for it. There are fish here, I'm very confident of that. Seen them on the depth finder. They're just not biting. So we gotta roll and go see if we can find some fish that are in a more agreeable mood. Right at the end of this falling tide, it's definitely petering out now. So we're gonna be fishing a rise probably the rest of the day. Not ideal, but I'd feel a whole lot better just if this water temp would warm up. Still 47, really, really chilly. All right, we're gonna make a move. All right, here we go. Made it to an area with 48-degree water. Downright balmy. Water looks probably a shade better than what we left. So that's a positive development. Yeah, it's definitely better. You can see my bait probably a foot down. Water's super, super low. Don't know if it's still falling or not. I hope it is. I hope it is. But look at all this bank exposed. That's some low water. Oh, there's a fish. What are you? Oh, bass. Stay up, stay up, stay up. There we go. All right. All right. Bass will bite in 47-degree water too. Whew, barely hooked. Good thing I kept pressure on him. All right, we'll get to cook him for lunch as well. Let's just say that fish was not enthusiastic on the strike at all. I figured today would be tough. I just had the itch to come fishing. But it was cold this weekend. I played in a pickleball tournament yesterday, and it never got warm at all. It was just cold. Saturday was cloudy all day, didn't get out of the 40s. If you're watching from up north, I know that's warm for you this time of year, but it's cold for us. And it's cold for these fish. Not often I make trips when water temps are in the 40s. That's really rare. And even 3 or 4 degrees can make a huge difference here in South Louisiana. If this water would warm up to 51, 52, these fish would definitely get inspired. I just don't know if it's gonna happen today. It's taking its time, that's for sure. You know, you figure a falling tide is pulling water out of all the ponds, and those ponds got exposed to low 30s last night, so that water's really cold coming out of those ponds. If the tide would continue falling all day, the water in those ponds would get a lot warmer because of this sunlight, but it's not gonna fall much longer, if it is even still falling. We're just gonna have to fish extremely slowly and just take whatever bites we can get. Still an absolutely awesome day out here. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Sun's warming up the air, the wind's kind of dying. Just really nice. And by the time you watch this, the warm stretch will have arrived, so conditions are going to be even better, significantly better. There's a fish. Another bass. I didn't get a good hook set. We might lose him. Nope, we got him. All right. All right. Oh, yeah, you were hooked well. Surprisingly, that's awesome. Also will be lunch. I'm gonna be eating like a king. He was right at that little run out. Also hit like a wet paper bag. Just there. Go to pick it up and get a little resistance, but you don't feel the bite at all. Feel grateful to have even the fish I got. As I push back in this little bayou, it's getting colder. It's 47.4. This fish may not bite till this afternoon. I mean, they're biting now, but just got to be patient and fish slowly. And actually, I really enjoy fishing like this. I actually do, particularly when it's this nice. Well, this is a good sign. Got some grass coming back. Grass got walloped last summer by the drought. Super hot, very dry, very salty in here. But it looks like it might be making a return for this spring. That'd be awesome. Make a few casts with this Zimmer swimmer, candy bug color. I got that under a 1/4 ounce tungsten bullet weight, 4/0 extra wide gap hook. This bait might have too much action for this cold of water, but we'll see. Ooh, oh, that was a good hit. That was the first really good hit of the day. He must have hit it and spit it. Gee whiz. Gee whiz. That's a phrase we got to bring back. Makes me sound really cool and hip. Gee whiz. So I'll be curious to see how my camp stove works. I got one with a 15,000 BTU max, which seems pretty high. I'm gonna sear the fish. I'm gonna use a special ingredient that to me makes seared fish far better, far better. We'll see what you think. Definitely starting to get hungry, but I wanna catch some fish while this tide is still falling, if it is still falling. It's not falling hard, I know that. We'll eat while it's changing. All right, only got one bite on the Zimmer swimmer. I give the SB57 a whirl. Now, you know, I always fish this thing with twitches. Never fish it like a real crankbait. I fish it like a jerkbait. But I'm gonna try and pause it even longer today. Give those fish a chance to smack it. Because I know they're not moving quickly. All right, SB's probably just too active for this water temp. Back to the matrix. All right, we got a nice high bank right here. I think that's where I'm gonna go up and get set up and cook some lunch. This tide is completely dead, so we'll ride that out. I'll fish on the back side of it for sure when that tide starts rising. But it's 10:30 now. It's gonna take me a little while to get set up, and I'm hungry. Ready to eat. All right, it's getting set up to cook. And the tide started rolling. So make a cast here before I get set up. There's a fish. All right. All right, another bass. I was about to get set up to cook. Pulled all my stuff out. Just decided to make a couple casts real quick. Whew, look how barely that dude's hooked. I mean, a whisker. Old red-eye bass. All right, here's my camp stove. The brand is Chef Master. Don't know anything about it. We'll find out today how it works. I've decided to do it on the boat. I was gonna get out on the bank, but with this water so low, it's gonna be tough to access the bank. Some areas where I could do it, but it's a little sketchy. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it on the boat. All right, the way this thing works, it's got a butane little canister here that you plug in and then lock in place. Close that. There we go, it's rolling. Believe it or not, that's it. Now here's all my supplies. Got a cast iron skillet, of course, the only way I'd cook. Whew, it's a little slick. That's unexpected. All right, we're gonna have to get this camp stove level some kind of way. Got to put something under there. All right, might seem stupid to start the pan before I clean the fish. That's intentional. I like to get a really, really hot pan when I'm gonna sear my fish. But now we're gonna go ahead and clean these fish. I think I'm just gonna do the bass. I got 3 of them. Take the redfish home and eat that at another point. Got a Bubba blade, I'm gonna go ahead and clean those bass. All right, here's bass number 1. All right, this is a learning process. The pan already got super hot. So 15,000 BTUs is obviously a lot. So I went ahead and turned it off. I'm gonna crank it up again right before we cook. I think I'm gonna save these belly bones, use them as catfish bait while we're cooking. All right, we got the chore done. The fish are all cleaned. I'm gonna go ahead and light this again. Simple enough. I'm gonna get a catfish bait out while we're cooking. Might as well be fishing. I'm gonna put some belly bones on this 3/8 ounce death grip. Pretty big piece. Take a pretty big cat to eat that. Let's give it a whirl. Rinse the fish in the marsh water. That's where they came from anyway. All right, first thing, I'm gonna put my fillets flat side up, super important, so they don't curl in the pan. I can probably fit, I'm gonna just cook 3 at a time. Very simple. We're going with just salt and pepper. All right, salt and pepper. And then here's the key ingredient. It's tallow. So important. I've been cooking with tallow for a few months now, and man, it's such a major difference. I still think this pan is hot, like too hot. Hopefully I don't burn these, because man, this pan I think is hot. I gotta learn it. Can't really see the fire. I'm gonna turn it down. You don't want a cold pan, that's for sure. But it seemed like it got hot awful quick. All right, let's see what our tallow does. All right. It looks a little on the hot side, for sure. We'll throw in some fillets and see what happens. All right. Whew, it smells good. Already smells good. Get the next fillets ready. All right, let's see how they look. All right, not bad. Definitely my pan's a little bit on the hot side. You can tell that by the outside cooking a lot faster than the inside. But it's still gonna be really good. At least we got a good sear on it. To me, salt and pepper with fresh fish, that's all you really need. I seldom use a bunch of seasoning just because it just kind of masks the flavor of the fish. I like the way fresh fish tastes. Salt and pepper is fine. That one's definitely under. Definitely under. We're gonna leave this one just a second longer. All right, let's flip this guy. There we go, that's a good sear. That's what we wanted. Go ahead and take this middle one off. Now, shout out to my buddy Jared Serenay, host of the Outside the Levees YouTube channel. He introduced me to this. You probably saw that video, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago. We caught catfish, cooked them in the marsh. Really, absolutely a blast. Gave me the idea to do this. All right, that's it. Tallow, salt, and pepper. We're gonna do the second batch now. The benefit of tallow is that it's so forgiving. It's got a very high smoke point. Now our pan might be getting a little cool. Turn it up a hair. All right, we go. Fillet those 3 bass, give me 6 fillets, which I can easily eat. I'm starving. All right, we go. Probably gonna cool off quickly since it's, you know, in the upper 40s. I mean, these fish were swimming minutes ago. Wow. Delicious. You know, people in other states do shore lunches all the time. Not something we really do here, but I'm gonna see if we can start the trend. It's really good. Just salt and pepper. All right, turn the fire off, take these 3 off, and we're done. Done with the cooking, now with the eating. Not the best sear on those, my pan got a little cool, but now I'm kind of learning it. I'll know better for next time. Nobody in the marsh is eating better than me today. Awesome.